All right, guys, so we're gonna do a Christen drill sharpener or grinder restoration video. Got this Christen drill sharpener on the Facebook Marketplace. And this is what it looks like. So it's in a little rough shape, but it's not awful. I would say the paint is 80% there. If this wasn't chipped so bad on top here, I probably wouldn't even paint it. But that's pretty cracked. Everything else is pretty decent. See if I can show you around. The protractor numbers are still there. I touched it with a little Scotch-Brite right here. I think it's gonna come back. The finger's in really good shape still. The magnifying glass is not cracked. The lamp is either blown or something wrong with the wiring. We're gonna look into that. And it is missing the chuck that holds the drill. But I haven't seen any restoration videos for this online, or disassembly or reassembly or really anything like that. There is one guy on YouTube that shows how to use it. So just want to show you a few things. So here it is. This is, I bought it for $50. I thought it was pretty well worth it. Hopefully we can make it work. So this is the one guy that has the video online on YouTube, and he shows the operation. It's actually a really nice video. I recommend checking that out. This is the company that supports these products. I think I can get parts for this at this place right here. And I already downloaded the manual, right? So that was nice. They had that available right on that website, and it's pretty robust. It doesn't show disassembly or reassembly, but it does have part numbers. The schematics are pretty good. It talks about the operation, how to use it, has technical drawings, which is really nice. So anyway, that's the plan. Gonna try to restore it. I don't have the disassembly instructions, so I'm gonna do my best, and I'll post it, and you know, you guys hopefully can benefit from hopefully not my mistakes, and a successful restoration. So let's do it. I'm going to start by taking the magnifying glass out. I think there's a crosshairs in there. I'm not sure because it's pretty dirty. Let's see if I can focus. And I think that this is held in with, I think this is a depth. I think this set screw right here is so you can set the depth of this for focal length. And then here, I think this little set screw in the cast part right here is what actually holds this part in. And again, another set screw down here, and I think this is the lamp. So gonna just start sort of taking that apart. Using the GoPro, so I'm gonna do my best to get you guys the best shot I can. There it is. And it did. That's where the lamp is, down in there. So, work on getting this out next, I think. Two screws. The bigger one is definitely two different sizes here. Bigger one, smaller one. Smaller one's for the lamp, bigger one's for the magnifier. There it is. So I'm going to see if I have a bulb that fits here, and see if that's the problem. Because it does not come on. That's what it looks like down in there. So, all right, so now I'm just going to remove this depth stop. This is where the drill, when the drill truck is in here, it's holding the drill, and you basically run the drill up into here to set the depth. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this apart. All right, so I sprayed a little penetrating lubrication on this. It was pretty tight. Okay, so there's a little Allen screw in there. It's a metric. I'm not exactly sure what size it is. It is a number 2 Allen nut in there. And then on here, there's a spring. Okay, so this part has a spring that goes over top, and then there's this cap, this capture cap that goes over the top of that and threads in over top of these threads. And there's a bare spot here. So I'm thinking that this thing, and you can see down here that has this knurled part, I think this is supposed to float in here. And I've already tried tapping on it with the neoprene hammer to get it to move, and it just won't. So I'm gonna hit it with the inductor and put a little heat into it, not a lot, but I'm sorry, this thing is kind of loud. So I'm just gonna put a little heat right here. And I already got penetrating oil in there, so that'll help kind of soak that penetrating oil down into the joint, and you can see how fast that goes. Just when I touch the button, it instantly gets warm. So I'm gonna go one more time, and let's see if that gets it to move at all. I don't really like hitting on things with hammers. Okay, so now a couple of little tappies, some lube and some heat. She comes right out. So, And I suspect that this this part looks like it's pressed into this casting. So I'm just going to leave that in there. So under here, there's this plate, and this is what you line the drill bit up with, and it's only got one Allen screw in here. It's missing here. It's missing here and here. So we'll at least get that one out and then try to get some new ones for here. There's one. That's the only one, I think. So there's that. I just kind of put my hammer in here and then tap this side to get it out. Not sure if you guys could see that. So there it is. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the chuck holder out, and again, I think it's just held on by this knurled piece down here. So. It comes out real easy. It's actually a taper, kind of a Morse taper here, kind of nice actually. It's amazing how much engineering went into this little piece. This collar right here looks like it's a little cattywampus in there. Looks like it's brass. Once I get the fixture off, I'll probably press that out because again, I think you can see it's a little proud on this side and a little shy on this side, so that's not right. We'll fix that. And I think there must have been a set screw in here. I'm gonna feel in there and see if there's any threads. Yeah, there's threads in there, so that's missing a little set screw. We can fix that and we'll get a new one for that. But so far, that's what it's looking like. Got all our pieces here, and here's my tripod. Okay, so just unscrewed this part from the lamp fixture here, and it's just threaded in. It just unthreads around the wire, and I guess we can see why the light's not working here anymore. These are just soldered connections, and this one's just snapped off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off so I can pull the wire through the fixture here, and then I can get this part of the fixture off. Okay, so this is a 5mm cap head screw right here. And it's tough to see. All right, so there are spots for alignment pins. It looks like these are the alignment pins right here that go through and find the other side just here in these two spots. So it looks like those alignment pins need to be pushed out a little bit. So they actually are able to find those location holes. This is cast aluminum. So I think it's going to be easier to get all of these little pieces off of this fixture while it's still on here. And then that way I don't try to have to hold it in a vise or something like to get all this stuff off. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these stops off right here. There's one here and then there's one on the other side. And these are just your hard stops here. And then this part right here is kind of a soft stop, right? So to set your angle, it's got this little kind of stop here, and you can see this spring was attached down here, but it's overstretched. We'll fix that. But yeah, just right now I'm gonna go ahead and take these off, and there's just little 8mm nuts holding them on both sides, right there and right there. So I'll go ahead and take those off. Okay, so I put the 8mm wrench on these, and it just spins these. Let's see if I can show you. It just spins these studs, right? So what I'm going to attempt to do now is back this set screw out. So this screw goes all the way through and makes a hard stop for the carriage. This is just a set screw to hold this screw. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out first, then this one, and then I can put an Allen wrench or something in there to stop that spinning when I take the nut off. That did it. Okay, now that's off. Let's see if I can. All right, so I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so I just wanted to point out when you take these off, these stoppers, there is a small, very thin lock washer here. So just wanted to point that out. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this handle off, and it is a number 3 cap head Allen screw just underneath here. Let me get my light. Number 3 cap head Allen screw just there. Okay, so now just going to take this this stopper off. This is kind of like the main stopper, you know, where you set your angle on the protractor. And the ones that we took off before were just the hard stops, one there and one all the way over on that side. They're gone. Now we're just gonna get this guy off, which is a number, let's see if I can show you. Just a number 10 nut right here. And just gonna go ahead and take that off. Okay, so now I think I'm going to go ahead and work on trying to get the finger holder. I don't know what the name of it is, but I'm going to try to go ahead and get the finger out of there. I think I think this is supposed to release it, and this is supposed to tension the drill bit and the finger. I'm not sure how seized up this collet is. I think this is supposed to have a spring on it, but there doesn't seem to be one there. But I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up so you guys can watch me do this part and see what happens. All right, so now I'm just gonna take this off. I'll try to loosen it and just back these fingers off a little bit. Oh, it's loose. So that's good, those move in there. That's a good sign. Oh, nice. Okay, so they pull tight and they loosen. I still feel like there's supposed to be a spring in here. Wow, look at that. A little, I don't know if you call it a thrust bearing or a roller bearing. Those are actually in really good shape. A little surface rust, but there's absolutely no gouges or anything on those. Okay, so there's a little 7mm. It's gonna be hard for you guys to see with the GoPro, but there's a little 7mm nut underneath here, and I just loosened that off. Okay, so I was able to loosen it. It was pretty daggone tight. But I'm just gonna try to... Shit. Okay, so there's a spring in there. Just be aware of that. And this sucker goes in like that with the spring in there. Okay, that was exciting. It looks like there's a keyway in there with a washer. And now I'll figure out how to get this fixture off. Okay, so there's a little spring clip in here, and I'm going to do my best to get it out of here without breaking it. These suckers always... All right, good deal, got that out of there. There it is. Okay, so got the drill holding fixture off, and this bottom nut loosened is a keyway. It's a key on the bottom side. See if I can show you in there. It's kind of tough to see, but it's a key for a needle bearing that went on here. So we're gonna have to be really careful with this because it is a needle bearing and they're just sort of sitting in there. So that pushed off to the left. So I moved the whole fixture to the left, and then kind of wiggled it back and forth, and that needle bearing came out through this threaded end. It is not threaded in there. And this side just goes on this roller bearing over here. Let's see if I can show you with the light. So roller bearing there, and that's where this side goes on. And then this was just a little plate on this side where that E-clip was. And I just pulled this off with a magnet. So it was in here like this, and I just kind of popped it out with a magnet. So now this fixture's off, and we can work on it. I'll also mention there's a little set screw on the side of the machine right here, and that is for this knurled screw down here. See if I can show it. There's a knurled screw down here. It goes up through and pops out through the top here. Right, this guy right here. And it's a stop. So when you push the fixture forward, it stops the forward motion of the fixture. That's pretty stuck in there, but I will work on that, maybe put the inductor on it. Okay, so down here, this nut right here has a screw that goes all the way through. And on this side, you can see that, hopefully you can see, try to get you the shot. Right here is a pin. And it's gonna be tough to see in the hole, but it's a cam, okay? So it doesn't half moon all the way through the shaft of this. It just clamps down like a cam. You can see where it was. And So all you have to do is loosen this nut, okay, and then just tap it up until it stops, and then that cam will be fully released. So this does not have to come all the way out. So I think the only thing left to do on this side is really just, I already loosened the set screw right here. For this, this depth stop, and I'm gonna try to loosen it. It's pretty tight. See what happens. All right, so I was able to get a soft jaw on this and break it loose. Hopefully you can see it wiggling in there. That was a toughie, but maybe we'll see if it'll turn just a little bit. I'm gonna keep working at this and then bring it back. All right, so got this loose, got the set screw, took the set screw all the way out just because it was such a bugger. I didn't want it to be binding. But this is coming all the way out now. It took a while. There was a lot of drill debris. And actually, I don't think it's gonna allow me to take it all the way out. I think the base is gonna stop it. So that, yep, that. Okay, so it just bottoms out on the base. I guess if you wanted to take the base off, I'm not going to take the base all the way off just to get this screw out. I'm not going to do that. But it's freely spinning and moving and doing everything I want. So I'll just, I'll work around it and paint around it or whatever. But yeah, it's freely moving now. It was not. So. All right. Now, basically just have to clean up this mess, get this organized, and then I can start working on at least this fixture, but I'm going to get this mess picked up first. Okay, so here's the rough disassembly. So the lamp, the magnifier, the handle, the soft stop, the main body of the fixture, protractor. This is going to be fun to try to get these numbers to clean up. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see it, but I can see it pretty good. The finger, again, in great shape, just surface rust, which is going to clean up perfectly. Going to do a little more here. This is the cam for the protractor to slide on. It's just a dovetail, just a little dovetail cam. So this just is going to press out, take this piece off. This is the fixture. This is the collet that holds the finger. So I will probably, take all this apart. There is a bearing under here that's pressed in that I really don't want to mess with. So the finger collet will probably stay in here. And it's got a little spring-loaded guy right here too that's in good shape. This thing is spring-loaded inside this collet fixture, this finger collet, whatever. But it's good and I don't want to mess with it. So so the finger collet will probably stay in here. These two plates will come off. And I don't think this fixture or this protractor side is going to come off. I think this is going to have to stay on because again, there's a bearing in here that the finger goes through that I don't want to take off. So we'll see what happens, but this is the rough start. So we can see everything. The hard stops are here. This is the cap head screw that holds the actual fixture to the grinder. This is the depth stop, and this is that part that goes up in here. And only one of the screws was there, two are missing, but the threads are good because I tried it. So getting some new threads on there should be fine. This part's pressed in here, so that's going to stay in there. This part again is pressed in here, but it's a little cattywampy. I'm going to fix it. So yeah, so that's the rough kind of disassembly. I'm I'll see how much I get done. I thought I was going to be able to make one video, but it looks like this is going to be a multi-part video because this is a very complex little piece of engineering. So I'll just keep going and I'll try to be as detailed as possible. Like I said, I didn't see another one of these. I didn't see anybody on YouTube that has, you know, taken one of these apart or anything like that. I see a bunch of them for sale. I saw that one guy that had the one kind of tutorial video, which was really nice. But yeah, we'll just keep working away and post it as I go. All right, so now that I got it basically taken apart on this side, I don't really want to start on this side yet because it's very complex. There's a lot to this little guy. So my plan is to go ahead and put this side back together, clean it all up, get all the rust off of it, and you know, kind of dry fit it all back together, and then you know, get things in place. Obviously, have to take the wheel off. This all has to get cleaned up as well. But then get this whole fixture back, sort of dry fit back in place after it's cleaned up, and then work on this guy. So I'm going to start by doing the drill truck holder. It's a bunch of little pieces, and I use my ultrasonic. And when I got a bunch of little pieces, I use my strainer and just kind of stick it in there like that, so that way I don't have to stick my hand back into the solvent, and I can just take them off and shake them off or whatever. Now, I've used this product in the past, this Evaporust. It's okay, but I'm not really a big fan. I find that it leaves, I don't know, it's like gummy at the end. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. But I just have diesel in here. It's my favorite solvent. I know that you're not supposed to put solvent in the ultrasonic. Don't do as I say, don't do as I do. Just do whatever you want. This is what works for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart, take this all into pieces and get it in there. That sucker is in there, so I think I'll soak it first, take it apart, and then try to get those screws out, because man, that's pretty tight. Any harder, I probably would have snapped my screwdriver off in there. They're starting to move, so at least on that side. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. There's a screw under here, or there's a spring under here, which is what you'd expect. And all of these springs have been ground flat on the side. They really did a nice job putting this thing together. Now this part should slide out of here, yeah. You know, first looking at this thing, it looks like it was in really bad shape, but it's really turning out to be quite a little gem for the price I paid for it. Ooh, gotta be careful up there. There's a little Allen screw in there. I'm gonna try to get that out. I'm gonna pause you. So a little cap head screw down in here, and it's a 2mm. Look at how nice they did. I mean, just amazing. I'll put this in here, let these ultrasonic a little bit first, and then I'll try to take them out. So I don't use the heat because there's solvent in there, and set it for 4 minutes and let her cook. All right, so they're in there. Get them down in there. Let that cook for a while. And yeah, that's it. All right, guys. So here's pretty much all the stuff out of the ultrasonic, and the ultrasonic did a pretty good job of getting the bulk of the rust off, and then I just sort of touched everything with a Scotch-Brite. So this is just the initial kind of cleaning. I will fine-tune this, but just to give you an idea, so here's the protractor, and you can actually see the numbers on that now. So everything's looking real good. Okay, so now just gonna press this little this bushing out of here, and I'll just tap it out, kind of. I don't think I need to fit it up in a fixture in the press. Okay, so now this part's just going to go over in the Sonic, and maybe I'll push these alignment pins out a little bit first. These these are alignment pins for the fixture, and they're just in there, so tap those back a little bit. Whoa, they come right out. I see why now. It was okay. So now they're kind of sticking out there, and they'll be able to line things up. So this is just going to go over in the Sonic now. Let's put this bad boy in. That was slick. So that can go in, put this little bushing in. And those babies can cook. Now we'll get a start on this part. All right, so now I'm just gonna take, I know I said I wasn't gonna take this finger collet out, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. It's coming out pretty easily, and just go ahead and do that. Okay, so there's that. You can see this has a spring in here, and This is spring loaded for the tip of the drill, I think. So this can go in the Sonic. Now, I just need to take this part off, this cam lock for the dovetail for the protractor, and take these face plates off here and get these cleaned up. So these are just 2.5 millimeter cap head screws here. There's 3 on this plate and 4 on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take that off. Yeah, so roller bearing in there, I'm not going to take that out, that's going to stay, and just have to clean the protractor up here, but yeah. So just taking this cam out, this locking cam out now for the protractor side, just backing this off. Back this out, there's a washer over here. Together. Okay, now all of this, there was a cover for this roller bearing that goes right there. And all of this is going to go now in the Sonic. So just set you guys over here for a sec. Can you see? Just got everything in the Sonic now. I'm gonna let that just soak in there for a while, and then we'll come back. All right, so this is pretty much as clean as I'm gonna get this. I'm thinking about go ahead and painting these parts everywhere where this blue is. I think this is the original gray. I've seen these restored. I've seen someone on that website with restored one that had this color gray. I think this is somebody else's blue. So I'm gonna try to match the gray, and there's gonna be a lot of taping on these parts, but you can see everything cleaned up pretty good. Let me see if I can get this to focus this time. So we can actually see the numbers, and just gonna look at the back. So everything cleaned up pretty good here. Here's the chuck holder. All the action works real nice on it now. Depth stop. A little better look at this. A lot of dings, a lot of wear and tear. Obviously, it was used quite a bit. So, gonna tape this part, and this part off, and paint the things that need to be painted. But you know, everything else came out real good. This bearing's nice and smooth. That was a little sticky at one point. Very precision made. One thing I couldn't really do anything with this cap that holds this, that screws into the end of this part, and controls the depth, I think, but I could not get this lock nut off of here. And you could see a lot of ugly tool marks there, so hopefully I can get a new one of these. If not, worst comes to worst, I can make one. I don't know, some kind of weird, crazy metric thread or something. I don't know what, but anyway, that's what it's looking like so far. So, like I said, figure I'll paint all the parts that need to be painted while it's off. So, okay, so pretty much got all these three pieces taped off, and some pretty creative taping to make sure all the machine surfaces are covered and the parts that need to be painted are not. So everything's pretty well taped off. It needs to be taped off. So gonna go ahead and paint these. I'm using this Duplicolor enamel. It's the medium gray, 1610 medium gray. Not sure if it's, I know it's not the same paint that was original, but I do like this color. I paint other machines this color. So that's what I'm gonna go with. All right, so I just removed this grinding wheel from here, and it was held on by this flange. This was just over top of the grinding wheel, and it just has these three cap head screws that hold it on. These on here are just they're weights to balance the wheel. So I'm gonna take them off and clean them up, but they're essentially just located over top of these holes. I don't know if it was ever balanced or what, or how it is balanced, but it's off. And the wheel that was on there is this. So that's what that looks like. So just gonna go ahead and clean this up while I'm waiting for my other parts to dry, and clean the cap head screws up as well. I should say the bigger cap head screws are 4 millimeters, and these smaller ones that hold the weights on are 2.5 millimeters. All right, guys, so here we are. This is pretty much as far as I'm going to take it for right now for this weekend. As I've done as much as I can for this weekend. I thought about taking this whole fixture off, but and I'm going to have to, because every single one of these cams is completely locked. You can see there's numbers down here on these protractors. Kind of like the other one was. I can get the shot here. Do my best. Anyway, these are all micrometers. There's numbers on these things. So we're gonna just have to clean them up like we did on these ones. So in the meantime, like I said, this is gonna be the end of part 1. Part 2 is going to be putting this side of the, so here's the paint booth, and these guys are just drying nicely, looking pretty good. So just gonna let those dry, and next part of the video is going to be taking this fixture off, and at least this part, this entire piece is going to be soaked in the ultrasonic to get it to break all these cams free. And then, so getting that half of the fixture off and soaking, and then putting this side of the grinder back together. So stay tuned and watch out for part 2.